Hello there and welcome to yet another edition of your favorite transportation program on television. This is the Lagos Transportation Agenda, the program in which highlights topical issues as well as current and emerging trends. We also engage with influential and knowledgeable stakeholders in the very dynamic and multifaceted world of transportation. My name is Osiyemi. We are coming to you from the Bagauda Kaltu Press Center here in Alausa, Lagos. This is the venue where on Tuesday, 23rd of April 2024, the Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Oluwaseun Osiyemi, held a Ministerial Press Briefing to highlight and give an overview of the role of the ministry in driving the Greater Lagos initiative of Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu's government here in Lagos State. He also noted the fact that transportation and traffic management are the key pillars in the governor's themes agenda for the development of the state. Commissioner Osiyemi's Ministerial Press Briefing was graced by his information counterpart, Mr. Benga Omotosho, as well as his counterpart in the Ministry of Information, Mr. Olumide Shogunle. Also present at the occasion was the Special Advisor to the Governor of Lagos State on Transportation, Honorable Olusola. When we come back after this time out on the Lagos Transportation Agenda, we will take some of the highlights of the presentation by the Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Oluwaseun Osiyemi. Please stay with us.
Great economies are built on good transportation network. This is why Lagos State Government through LAMATA has been working tirelessly to enhance the state's transport infrastructure and implement the Strategic Transport Master Plan (STMP) for Lagos and create a world-class transport network for the metropolis. The STMP would deliver 6 rail lines, 1 monorail, 14 BRT routes, 26 water transport routes, 3 cable car routes, and several road interventions to promote the integration of the transport modes. When all these projects are completed, there will be lower emission, leading to better health for all, lower road crashes, better quality of life, and faster economic growth. With the BRT already running in some corridors, jetties being upgraded, and rail line from Okokomaiko to CMS coming on board soon, life of Lagosians in the face of Lagos is changing every day. A healthier and more prosperous Lagos is in the making, and LAMATA is driving it. LAMATA, keeping Lagos moving.
Welcome back on the Lagos Transportation Agenda. As I said in my introduction before the break, the Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Oluwaseun Osiyemi, was engaging the media as well as the public and general stakeholders in the transportation sector of the Lagos State economy on the issues pertaining to the ministry and its role in driving the Greater Lagos initiative of Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu's government here in the state. He began by talking about the challenges and the opportunities that the ministry has been presented with in fulfilling its historic and very crucial role in driving the themes agenda in particular and the Greater Lagos initiative of Governor Sanwo-olu in general.
A series of strategic initiatives have consistently served as instruments pivotal in advancing the first pillar of the Things Plus development agenda, which is traffic management and transportation. Under the stewardship of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-olu's administration, these endeavors have been meticulously introduced to catalyze reform within the transportation sector. With a steadfast commitment to establishing an efficient, safe, reliable, and sustainable transportation network, as well as proficiently controlling and managing traffic flow, the state has prioritized the acceleration of its multimodal transport system. This system integrates various modes of transportation including rail, water, and bus services as outlined in the Comprehensive Lagos State Strategic Transport Master Plan. The mandate of this administration in transportation. The mandate of this administration in transportation, as outlined by the governor upon his return for a second term in office, is structured to consolidate and advance key initiatives within the realm of traffic management and transportation. Topmost among these objectives are expansion of infrastructure, enhancing the intermodal transport system through the delivery of critical projects such as the intracity red line rail network, the establishment of a new airport in Ibejuleki, the development of a deep sea port in Badagry, and the progressive construction of the Fourth Mainland Bridge. These endeavors aim to bolster connectivity and facilitate smoother movement of goods and people across the state. Traffic congestion. Addressing key gridlock points to mitigate traffic congestion and enhance overall traffic flow within the metropolitan area by identifying and resolving bottleneck areas. This administration seeks to improve the efficiency of the transportation network. Also initiating measures to alleviate traffic congestion by establishing new link roads and bridges that connect previously undeserved communities. Traffic management. As part of strategy to ensure efficient traffic management within the states, the present administration has adopted a proactive approach centered around the identification and remediation of traffic-prone junctions. A key component of this approach is the implementation of the Traffic Management Intervention Plan, the TMIP, aimed at optimizing the utilization of carriageways, pedestrian walkways, parks, and garages. The ministry has continued to ensure that traffic signal lights remain functional through provision of alternative power source, repairs of damaged ones, and regular upgrades.
Commissioner Osiyemi also dwelt at length on how the Lagos State government in general and the Transportation Ministry in particular are leveraging on technology to drive the interface between users of its services and operators of the transportation systems across the state in terms of payment, in terms of discipline, and in terms of the proper use according to the rules and regulations, as well as the regulatory framework of the entire transportation ecosystem. The Lagos State Transportation Commissioner also spoke about the various agencies involved in traffic management, training and capacity building for drivers and motorists, roadworthiness, and the safe and proper use of the state's parking spaces.
To manage the human interface, versatility and professionalism of officers, training and retraining of all personnel was initiated periodically. The reduction of human interface in traffic management with the introduction of traffic management solution devices handled by last mile officers is paying off as 26,816 violations were captured in 3 months of this year 2024 already, which speaks to January to March. In year 2023, the state government introduced the utilization of payments for stage carriage, vehicle body tag, driver's badge, and conductor's badge for easy monitoring and tracking of activities of operators of the yellow buses. MVAA, our Motor Vehicle Administration Agency. They have maintained a robust motor vehicle database and improved security on Lagos roads. The Motor Vehicle Administration Agency has lived up to its core functions and values. Through its activities at over 140 annex offices and 5 one-stop stop center with its 6th ongoing at Ojo, which is presently at 60% completion. To best manage its operations, the authority has employed the use of innovative technology to create parking solutions along various streets, locations within the metropolis through the deployment of an online app designed to effect a world-class parking system for residents. The Lagos State Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, has lived up to its responsibility, including development of the State Strategic Transport Master Plan. The plan includes a reform of both sectors, including 14 BRT routes, development of a rail network comprising of 6 rail lines and 1 monorail, terminals and interchanges, and creating the environment for the private sector to participate in development of transport infrastructure and service provision. The agency is also conferred with the Management of Bus Reform Initiative, the BRI, which is a statewide program to develop a coherent, formalized, and logical bus transport system and network across the entire Lagos state.
Akété ilé ọgbọ́n, Èkó akété ilé ọgbọ́n, arọ́mọdé dẹ́kọ̀ máma já o, Èkó arọ́mísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́, arọ́mọdé dẹ́kọ̀ máma sá o, Èkó arọ́mísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́.
Welcome back on the Lagos Transportation Agenda. If you're just joining, we've been tracking the highlights of the Ministerial Press Briefing held right here in the building behind me by the Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Oluwaseun Osiyemi. In his presentation, he took pains to mention the importance of the integrated multimodal transportation system that the Lagos State government has been developing for years now, and progress that has been made in that regard concerning the Blue Line rail mass transit system, the Red Line mass transit system, and how far they've gone in terms of progress, as well as water transportation and other forms of transportation on the road, by water and by rail. Take a listen.
As part of the measure to ease congestion in Lagos roads, the Lagos State government, under the watch of Mr. Governor, commissioned the first phase of the 27-kilometer Blue Line rail system. The first phase of this Blue Line rail, Mile 2 to Marina, has been fully completed and over 1 million passengers have been transported. Contract has been awarded and work has commenced on the second phase of this Blue Line project, which is expected to transverse from Mile 2 to Okomaiko. The first phase of the Red Line has been completed, and of course commissioning was done by Mr. President on February 29th, and is currently going through testing in readiness for commercial operation. As part of the efforts to promote the use of water transport in Lagos State, which is in line with Things Plus development agenda of the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu, the state government, through the Ministry of Waterfront and Infrastructure Development, commissioned 7 jetties and terminals between the 24th and 26th of May 2023. These jetties and terminals are located in different parts of the state. On the 12th of January 2023, at the Commando Jetty Badagry, Lagos, the agency carried out waterways clean-up campaign program to sensitize both operators, passengers, and general public on waterways pollution and the need to properly dispose their waste in order to protect the waterways and the environment. On 3rd of April 2023, the Safety Awareness Campaign team of LASWA were at Ebute Road, Sabon-Koji, Liverpool, Ipakodo, and Bayeku jetties and terminal to enlighten ferry passengers on waterway safety rules and regulations. With distribution of valve jackets, the safety awareness campaign was extended to other jetties across the inland waterways. At this point, I say a very big thank you to everyone for listening, and God bless as we take your questions with my able lieutenants and generals also ready to take questions as they come. Thank you very much.
The Ministerial Press Briefing also featured a lively question and answer session in which the Commissioner, as well as the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transportation, Mr. Olawale Musa, and the Special Advisor to the Governor of Lagos State on Transportation, Honorable Sholagiwa, fielded a series of questions from members of the media on the issues that were highlighted during Commissioner Osiyemi's presentation.
What are you doing to ensure that this more buses are rolled out from the buses on our Lagos road?
Now, the first question was something to do with the number of driver's licenses that was issued. The first thing I would like to say is, I would like to firstly say that driver's license as we speak is in conjunction with FRSC. So technically, all the revenue you see or you've calculated is not coming to Lagos State. You know, it's a joint venture with FRSC, and then there's a sharing formula which, of course, is amongst us. As we speak, we are already speaking to an operator who is bringing 2,000 CNG buses. Let me give you some other inside information. There's also a private operator in the space of the e-hailing business who by sometime in June will be launching electric vehicles in Lagos. There are about 231 of those vehicles. They've already been shipped and they'll be launching and using them in Lagos.
So basically, I just want to paint a picture to you how LASMA operates vis-a-vis how commuters and road users see LASMA. And I just want you to look at this. Anytime the LASMA personnel is at a particular junction, you are not there with that person. Usually you are in motion. So you are viewing the action of the law enforcement in motion. So you are seeing what he's doing at that particular time, then you are seeing that officer. And your judgment or your takeaway will be what you see within a fleet of a second. Or maximum, you wait there for 3 minutes. But you do not know what this officer has been doing since 6 a.m. And you got there around maybe 9 a.m. or 10. And I'll give you an example. At a particular junction that LASMA is saying I want to arrest. Prior to that time, about 10 other vehicles has passed through one way. And because the guy understands that trying to arrest or apprehend the vehicle takes time, cause traffic, we want to let go. But this same man is human. So letting go of the first one, second or third or fourth, and say, okay, at this point, I think I have to make an example of this person. And that is exactly the point when you are passing. And you didn't see him when you left the first 3 or 4. So what we should do is try and empathize with these men that are really working. On our part, on the issue of the red buses refuse to comply with the state transport law. They are just like the motorways now. They are supposed to register with Lamata as an operator. A state will not sit down and allow people to just become operators on their own. If you want to run the transportation business in Lagos, you will come to our agency and register. So what you see them do is that they are just buying buses on their own and plying the road. And for us, we will not sit down and follow their apps. We need to be able to calculate, to know the number of buses we have, to be able to prepare for them and all that.
In addition to what is said, I would also like to share that through Lamata, one of our agencies, we are currently doing a survey on 8 quality bus corridors. This project is going to enable us to be able to ascertain the number of buses needed per route. What we have in Lagos today is that we have buses just all over. So you might have buses too much for a particular location, and you have a deficit in other areas. So this project is going to give us that data that would, of course, give us the structure, the number of buses we need in a particular route, so that we can, of course, feed those routes with those buses, and then also be able to manage traffic efficiently.
We actually saw those people bearing fake MOT ID cards. I can assure you that none of them work for anybody in MOT. And that is why we give you these numbers when you have such issues. Please report to us. They don't work for MOT. There is none of them, because we could not even identify none of them. And if they work for us, why would we go and arrest people that work for us? And we will now come and make it public. It doesn't make any sense. We won't make it public. We will have eating them or somehow try to protect them. But we will not protect anybody that does illegality in MOT. So let me assure you that none of them was with MOT. So I quickly want to also mention, we were talking about, I know you directed it to GM last month, but I think I must be that position to answer it. You say you commit offense, they catch you 2 weeks later. Let me give you a scenario, which happened to me when I was GM last month. We were at Yanoba, and this vehicle was passing one way, commercial. We were about 14 last month officers there. We dare not arrest that vehicle there. The area boys that surrendered us were more than 50. So we had the option of arresting the vehicle or dying. So we decided not to die. So what happened was, I just called my guys, because of, the last person, they were showing them the car, they were tearing that. Because I saw those guys, see the way their eyes were red, they were in tough. Yeah, I didn't have that type of mind. I just asked one of them, can we catch this vehicle later? Just say, Ogamamu. We caught that vehicle almost a month later. Yeah, it could be carrying passengers. Because I had committed a grievous offense. And he was even told me he would kill me, and was speeding to kill me. That's why I didn't want to die. So let me also tell you, that vehicle was using a plate number that belonged to another vehicle. The owner of that plate number was in Port Harcourt. So it means you have to look at the situation at that particular time to ensure that we are not going to cause problems. That's why initiatives coming. Okay, so last thing I want to arrest when they have least resistance. So when they know that there's going to be trouble, they will rather let you go. They will now come and catch you when they know that, those type of things. That's what they do. So sometimes it could be an hour later. It could be at a different spot. It could be weeks later. But they have their... I've got some last officer. I just saw them stop a vehicle on the Kurodu road. Just the way you were thinking, and I said, what's your offense? Why are you disturbing this guy? And I just called one of them, and he showed me evidence what the guy did about 3 weeks ago. And ran away. He went to another route entirely. So we avoid that route when they have committed the offense. They will go somewhere else. So which we will now wait for them. You will come back because they like to operate where it's convenient for them, around the areas where they live. So they will still come back. So that is what you see most of the time.
And that's the size of our show today. Thanks for watching. I hope you join me at this time next week on this program for yet another very interesting discourse on the critical issues and trends in the world of transportation here in Lagos State and Nigeria and beyond. My name is Osiyemi. Until then, stay safe. Bye-bye and God bless.